Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Today, smoking my 1952 Dunhill shell Briar. And in it, smoking some of my absolute favorite tobacco, Salty Dogs. Love this stuff. It's a cool, chilly day with a little bit of wind out here. It's 41 degrees right now. Last night I just decided I had shaved my beard completely off. I mean, just completely. Everything was gone on December 1st. I took a big old chunk out and just had to shave everything off on December 1st. And I said, well, I'm just going to let it grow for a year and not trim it, not do anything. Just last night I had all I could take. So I went in and trimmed it all up, got it looking fairly decent again so I don't look like a homeless guy. But I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, it's bad enough I let my hair grow. Haven't been shaving my head. But the beard was just, I mean, it was just too much. It was at that spot where it was just going everywhere and nothing I could do would control it. And I had just had enough. And this morning I got up to take Denny and McKinley to work. The truck's in the shop again. Took Denny and McKinley to work. And it was down in it was 31 degrees. And the wind was blowing. And my cheeks were stinging. I wasn't used to not having any hair on my face. And boy, it was cold. They were stinging. It's no fun being furless. Oh, this is so good. I was looking for some reverb plug. I thought I had a little piece of reverb plug left, but I guess I don't. I think I smoked it all. And so I thought, well, time to break out the Salty Dogs then. So you know, I got a comment on one of my videos from quite a while ago. And the commenter said, you know, I've always loved knives and lighters and leather things and turquoise knickknacks and jewelry. And he said, and then when I started smoking a pipe, I realized everybody else did too. And it's true. I think it's something that is inherent to a pipe smoker, is the love of, well, obviously the love of lighters, and usually knives, because you're cutting up, at least with me when I'm smoking, twists and plugs, and you're cutting a lot, and even sometimes with flakes. But and then the turquoise was, what started me on turquoise was a friend of mine who's no longer with us. He sent me a turquoise ring. He sent me, actually, this turquoise ring right here. Gosh, 15 years ago, something like that, 20 years ago. And he said, turquoise is meant to be shared with friends. And that just meant so much to me when he said that. And he was a big turquoise guy, had a bunch of turquoise rings. And I miss him a lot. He was a good guy, and I'd known him for, probably going on close to 30 years now that we had been friends. If he was still here, it would have been 30 years. And we met through fountain pens. We were both fountain pen collectors. And there was a website called the Fountain Pen Network, and he was on it and I was on it, and we just became friends on there. And over the years, our lives intersected a lot, and I never actually met him in person, but Dennis was such a good dude, and I felt like I've known him, personally for my whole life, for nearly half my life. We've been emailing and texting and talking to each other, and he's always been a wonderful guy. And he started making knives, and he sent me a few of his knives over the years, and I bought a few of his knives, and but Dennis was a good dude. He went by Savage Dennis Lively, was what he went by, and on his pages and his Savage Dennis Lively knives, SDL knives. But I cherish those knives that I have that he made, and he also made me some cool leather grips for my cast iron pans that were just amazing. They're just amazing, and just absolutely loved those. Unfortunately, my wife put a cast iron pan in the oven to cook something in it, and left the leather handle cover on it, and it kind of ruined it. Well, more than kind of ruined it. It pretty much destroyed it. And I tried everything. I tried, soaking it in neat's foot oil and everything, and try and soften it back up, because it was just hard as a rock. She had just cooked it, and it was just terrible. But yeah, I wish I still had that, but I recently had to throw that away because it just didn't work anymore. It was all broken and cracking and splitting, and I used it for as long as I could. Tried to save it if I, as best I could, with oils and leather treatments and mink oil and all that kind of stuff to try and soften it back up, but it just never worked right. Couldn't get it on or off the pan. If you got it on, you couldn't get it off, and it was hard to get on, which was why my wife stuck it in the but I'd had that thing for so long, and Dennis he just made some incredible things over the years. And then the Zippo, my first Zippo that I ever bought, I bought in 1992. It was 6 years after my dad passed away. And so I was about 30 years old, I guess, at the time. And I went into a thrifty drugstore, and I saw a Zippo lighter hanging there. And I didn't smoke at the time at all. And I thought, man, I'm going to buy that lighter. So I bought that lighter, and I bought a bottle of butane fuel. I didn't know any better. And I got in my car, and I filled that thing up with the butane fuel, and I lit it, and this big old flame came up and was kissing the top of my roof on my car. So I had to do a little bit of research and found out that you can't use butane fuel on a Zippo lighter. Oh boy, did that thing go up in flames. I'm glad I didn't drop the lighter. I'm glad I didn't catch the roof on fire. The headliner on it. But every time I'd be sitting somewhere, and I'd just be opening and closing my Zippo, no matter where I was, just doing that. And I drove so many people nuts over the years doing that, specifically my wife. But it reminded me of my dad, and it was like he was in the room with me. And every time I'd click that thing, especially like this one's a brass one, but the metal ones, just the silver ones, that's what my dad had. And that sound, that those make a very peculiar sound. And I don't know if I have one up here or not. I usually have a couple out here. I can't see it anyway. But it makes a very peculiar sound. And then I started learning, tricks and stuff with the lighter. And so I was constantly flicking it and driving my wife nuts, my friends nuts. And then I started going to antique stores and thrift stores and buying all the Zippos I could find, because they were cheap back then. They were nothing. And then I got on eBay, and you could find old beat up Zippos, which were the ones I really liked. I liked the ones that somebody had held in their hands and worn the silver off of them, so the brass was coming through, and those were the ones I liked. You know, the ones that had been used, had been loved, had been, someone had that in their hand and was doing the same thing I did, flicking it and playing with it. And so I would buy those, and I could get those for super, super cheap because nobody wanted them because they weren't, you know, collectibles. So I bought all the old beat up Zippos I could find. And I got some old ones. And next thing I knew, I had well over 100 Zippos, and still kept collecting and still kept collecting. And I've since kind of stopped collecting. I haven't bought any Zippos in quite a while. Mostly because they've just gotten so expensive. People are just asking too much for them. I won't pay it. And I have a bunch of the Zippos of the year and all of those, the collectible Zippos that everybody wanted. And, you know, I bought all of those. Some I have 2 of. And one Christmas, my sister Shirley, she must have spent months on eBay buying Zippo lighters for me for Christmas. And then at Christmas she gave me this big old box, and it was just filled with Zippos of the year and all these fancy, just really beautiful fancy Zippos. And I've just got a huge collection. It's all, you know, in boxes. I don't have them displayed or anything. I need to find a lighter display case of some sort that I can put them in and hang them up and show them off. But I don't have my dad's. I never did get my dad's Zippo. Never did find his Zippo. I have a Zippo from the Midway, which he was a plank holder on the Midway. He was on the initial crew on the Midway. And I have an old from the, I believe it's from early 50s. It may even be, actually it may be earlier than that, because I think it's steel. It isn't brass, it's steel, and it's got some rust on it. And they only made the steel ones in the 40s. Certain years in the 40s, and I think into the early 50s they made steel ones. I'd have to look that up to be certain. So I need to put that Zippo in his flag case, and he served in World War II. But I have my great-grandfather's flag from, he was a World War II World War One veteran, served in World War One. And my dad's flag and my father-in-law's flag. We have those hanging up in the hallway in the house. So we've had some stormy weather here this week. Yesterday we got several emergency wind warnings with up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So this weekend will be cleanup weekend again. I get to go out and start cutting up, picking up. It never ends. It just never ends. We get these heavy winds here. We are in the Blue Ridge in southwestern Virginia, and we're up on kind of a mountaintop, and not a tall mountaintop. There's, the Blue Ridge is all around us, and but where we live, you can look down and you can see the city of Salem below us, and the winds just come up through there and just batter us. And I need to thank Piper Dave. Piper Dave sent me to, I was talking about getting those trash picker-upper things. In fact, I got one right here. Let me go get it. So one of these things here with the grippers on the end, and this one's really nice because you can adjust it to go. See if I can do this. There it goes. You can adjust it to so it could pick up either sideways or this way. Thing works amazing. And for getting branches and not having to bend over so much. My back, I've got a bad back, and so that cleaning up branches is hard for me to do. That's going to make it so much easier. I'll be able to hook up I've got the trailer already hooked up to the tractor, and I'll just drive that around and just pick those up, throw them in the back of the trailer, and then I could drive the trailer down to where I want to dump them, the little ones. And the big ones that I'm cutting up for firewood, I'll drive those out into the backyard and put them on the drying rack for the firewood, and let them dry out for next year when I want firewood. But that's going to help so much. So thank you, Dave, for that. I had talked about those in a video saying I wanted to get some. And like 2 days later, I get a package delivered to my front door that I didn't order. I thought, what is this? And I open it up, and it's those. And immediately I said, Piper Dave did a thing. Piper Dave did a thing. So I contacted Dave and said, did you do a thing, Dave? He said, who, me? What? And He said, we got to take care of your back, man. And so, but these are nice. These are really good ones. And then I had the bear come visit again the other night. That I had left the trash out because we were going to take it down that night for trash night, take it down to the street. And apparently the bear came by before we got it down there. He knocked over everything, dragged stuff out around the back of the barn. And so I grabbed this, the trash can, and went out there and just picked it up, and it worked so nice. It worked so good for that too. Saved my back from having to bend over and pick up all the trash. And so that was awesome. I was just so thrilled. So it's going to get a lot of use. They're going to get a lot of use. You sent 2 of them. You sent a 2-pack of them. What a guy. But that'll help a lot with the branches, especially the small branches. And the big branches, it's just so long as I can pick one end up and get it up to me, and then I can get it, put it on the trailer and cut it the way I want it if it's got to be cut up, and just lean an end on there so I can cut it, and it'll be so much nicer to have that. And using my Zycar old boy. I've had this thing for probably 3-4 years now, maybe longer. I don't remember when I got it. I don't remember if it was here. I think it was in San Diego, so it's been 5 years that I've had it, at least 5 years. These are awesome. They have a lifetime warranty on them, just like Zippos do. If anything goes wrong with it, you send it back. They send you a new one, or they fix it or send you a new one. Just like Zippos. If any of you guys have Zippos that aren't working or are broken, you can send them back to Zippo and they will fix it. They won't fix like the finish, but they'll make sure that it works. They'll give you, if you ask for the old insert back, they'll give you the old insert, like if it's a collectible or something, an old one. But you can send in the cigarette lighters and ask for a pipe insert, and they'll give you a free pipe insert. You just got to send them the pipe and ask for it. And I always ask for the old ones, and I've got a fishing tackle box full of old Zippo parts in case I ever need them for anything. But I have all the old cigarette inserts because they only make a few kind of pipe lighters, but you can get, buy any Zippo and then just send it in and ask for a pipe insert. They'll put the insert in, send you if you request the old one back, they'll send you the old one back. And they have been amazing. I have done that on so many. Or if the hinge breaks, you send it in, they'll put a new hinge on it. They'll use your parts and just put a new hinge on it so that you have the same lighter. I've done that. The hinge would break off or something, and I'd send it back in. They, 2 weeks later, here's a package at my door from Zippo. They give you a bunch of free flints. They used to give you the penny never spent to fix a Zippo, and it was like a little keychain, and it was a penny, and it said the penny never spent to fix a Zippo on it. I got a ton of those. I don't know if they still do that. I haven't sent anything back to them in years. I've got a couple that I want to send back in, and get new inserts, pipe inserts. A lot of times on the pipe insert, this top piece right here, it just comes off. You can just pull it off, but you'll lose that sometimes. And so if you send in the insert and ask for a new insert, they'll give you a new insert. I'm sure if you just wanted the top part and just asked them for the little top part, they would probably put a new one on it for you. But anyway, so that's what's been going on. I had somebody else message me on a video from, it was like 13 videos ago, saying he hadn't seen any videos from me in months and months, and wanted to know if I was still doing videos. So I messaged him back and said, yeah, I'm still doing videos. I've done 13 since this one that you commented on. So he went and I guess he found them, and I know there are several times I've been looking for people, and I haven't seen videos from them in a long time, and I would go looking for them, and they'd been making videos the whole time. And I would click on it, and it would say I wasn't subscribed to them, and I know I was subscribed to them, so I'd resubscribe, hit the bell, make sure the bell went black, so I got every notification that when they do a video. And it's been fine since. But there was a while there where it was like they were unsubscribing you to, YouTube was unsubscribing you to channels if you didn't interact with them or something. I don't know. That's what it seemed like, anyway. But anyway, gosh, 33 minutes. You'd think I didn't have anybody to talk to. You know? So anyway, I will catch you guys later. I'm just going to finish this up. I got another 320 up here all loaded up and ready to go. So when I'm done with this one, I'm going to smoke that one. That one's got some black Irish twist in it, so I'm letting it just sit for a while. It was fairly fresh Irish twist, so I have a Irish twist in jars. It's like 4 or 5 years old, and that's usually what I smoke, is the stuff I've had in my cellar in jars for years. So light's a little easier. Still moist, still fresh. But it's not like you get a brand new pound of tobacco and it's moist, especially black Irish twist. And it'll take forever to light. even when you've had it around for years, it still will take some relights. But anyway, I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. God bless. And good to see you around. Take care.